falling in love with
Allahu Akbar! Kevin De Bruyne!
Shut up! We're getting straight into this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that the Manchester City board themselves deemed it too expensive to sign either João Neves and especially Nuno Mendes back in like 2020, 2021, 55 million pounds. It was too expensive back then.
Inexcusable behavior.
I just watched Paris Saint-Germain just give Real Madrid an absolute hammering. Real Madrid absolutely shameful. Vinicius Jr. has been a shit football player for 12 months straight. This is uncanny. Kylian Mbappe yet again seeing his ex-girlfriend succeed more and more with each passing day, and they have 2 cup finals in their next 2 games. I honestly kind of feel a little bit bad.
Not really.
Nuno Mendes, everybody, is 23 years old. 23 years old. He is the best left back and quite possibly even the best defender in the world right now. If he keeps this up, this is going to be one of the best left backs of the 21st century. I'm not kidding. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. Did I say 55 million or 50 million pounds? No, I'm so sorry about that. Manchester City walked away from signing Nuno Mendes for 40 fucking million euros. 40 million euros. Okay, what is that, like 30 million pounds or something ridiculous like that? We walked away from that deal in 2021.
So, that's it. Check it out.
Does anybody know what a left back is? Does Guardiola know what a left back is? Does any Man City fan actually remember what it was like having a left back? If we had signed him, that position would have been set for the next 10 years. I would love to get Livramento from Newcastle, but 80 million pounds, that's the asking fee that Newcastle is wanting. 80 million pounds, that is 75 million pounds overpriced. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he is English, he is very talented, he's young and he's talented, but he's English. Okay, he's got an Italian last name, Livramento. If he was Italian, that price tag would be slashed by 50%. He would be less than 40 million euros. But to be honest, I've been saying this in previous videos, I don't give a shit how much Manchester City spends anymore. I just want us to spend wisely on the big players, on the big superstars right now. If we sign somebody like Tino Livramento right now, we would have a set right back for the next decade. You notice how we don't have to think about worrying about a striker or a CDM or a center half with Joško Gvardiol for the next 6, 7, 8, 9 years? It's because they're so sensational. Is it just me, or are City fans just completely taking the piss out of signing Denzel Dumfries for 20 to 25 million euros from Internazionale? That's his release clause, I believe, for clubs not in Italy, which includes Manchester City. We can sign a right back at the top of his game. I know he's 29 years old, okay, but Fernandinho he came into Manchester City very late as well. Do you people not understand that signing somebody like Denzel Dumfries, who's got so much experience in the Champions League, in playing top flight football, playing for one of the best teams in the world in Inter Milan, okay, maybe not after that performance in the final, but regardless, they still went to the fucking final. He's been in 2 Champions League finals. It's not like he's some scrub. 29 years old, 25 million pounds or 20 million euros. That's a good 3 years. 3 years at the very top for Denzel Dumfries. 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, is more than enough time for us to find our starting right back for the next 10 years. In my opinion, I honestly think we already have it in Rico Lewis. Imagine we sign Denzel Dumfries. We don't have to worry about that position for the next 3, 4, 5 years-ish. Definitely for the next 3 years, okay? And in those 3 years, Rico Lewis can play a lot of games. He can start a lot of games at right back. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get more experience underneath his belt. The boy is like 19, 20 years old. He's going to be 23 years old 3 years down the line. That is honestly still incredibly young. He can gain so much more experience. He's going to be faster, stronger, more technical on the ball. Rico Lewis, for the next manager, he's going to be absolutely sublime. Then he can slot into our team as a starting right back. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love that more than anything. But no, ladies and gentlemen, no, I am a plastic fan. I am a fake fan. I am a plastic Manchester City supporter for wanting our older players to be benched to give more minutes to our young players. Reports of Nico Gonzalez leaving Manchester City, honestly, that didn't surprise me One fucking bit. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy asked to leave Manchester City in fucking August or September this year. Not next year, in the next 2 months. I love Bernardo Silva, ladies and gentlemen. I love him so much. I love Bernardo Silva more than my wife. I don't have a wife, but if I did, I would be saying probably not. I love Bernardo Silva more than my first wife. Bernardo Silva is an exquisitely talented football player. I don't really have a problem with him making captain. The only problem that I have is that he's going to be starting every single game for this 2025-2026 season because it's so obvious that it's his last season, and of course that's going to take away minutes from Savinho, that's going to take away minutes from Phil Foden, that's going to take away minutes from Doku, that's going to take away moments from Oscar fucking Bobb. I'm going to make a prediction here, ladies and gentlemen, and none of you are going to like it. And of course, I don't see any City influencers and YouTubers calling it out. Obviously, they're on their fucking payroll. Of course, they're not going to criticize the club. I love City. Just because you criticize City doesn't mean you're a plastic fan, okay? Just because you want our young players. Oh my God, how fucking horrific and how horrible of a person we are as City fans for wanting Oscar Bobb to play more minutes than Bernardo Silva next season. Of course, if Oscar Bobb is not performing well and Bernardo Silva is, of course, then give the minutes to Bernardo Silva. But it's not like Oscar Bobb is some fucking scrub. He is so good and so talented on the ball. I am going to be making a prediction here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a prediction that anybody's going to like. If Bernardo Silva keeps starting games, if İlkay Gündoğan and Kovacic and players like that, if they all start over Oscar Bobb and all these young players for the next 3, 4, 5 months, Oscar Bobb will leave Manchester City in January.
Oh, no, no, no, no.
I don't know about you, but signing young players has lost its allure. It's lost a little bit of its flavor for me over the last several years. It's depreciating at an alarming rate, and it's because of our tactics, and it's because of our favoritism. I have never said, you will never find a previous clip of me saying Bernardo Silva out, İlkay Gündoğan out, Kovacic out, Ederson out. You have not seen me said those things. I want them to be benched. Maybe not Ederson, but those other 3 players. I want them to be benched. I still want them to start games. Of course. Okay, home game against Fulham. Okay, home game against Ipswich. Away at fucking Brentford. Whatever. First couple of rounds in the FA Cup, Champions League. Yeah, of course. But if we're playing a big team in a big game, okay, we need the legs. We need the youth. Football, unfortunately, has gone past the Bernardo Silva type players, and you need those quick, really strong, powerful players that can run back and forth. We have Tijani Reinders. We have Nico Gonzalez. How many times have I said this on this channel? Nico Gonzalez, Reinders, and Rodri. That should be our midfield 3 for next season. Like I said, I want players who are performing well, first and foremost, then other players to be given more minutes. That is just the bottom line. I don't care about favoritism at that point. I don't care about age. Whoever plays better deserves to play more games, even if the young players deserve it more to gain more experience. If they're not performing well and the older players are, then yes, of course, I want Bernardo Silva to keep playing. If he keeps putting in these amazing performances, especially with someone like Rodri and Tijani Reinders covering the space behind him, Bernardo Silva is mint. But I'm just looking at our depth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at Echeverri, who's going to go out on loan. McAtee, who's probably going to be leaving the club. Vitor Reis, who's going to be leaving the club. Juma Ba is out on loan right now. I don't think Juma Ba will even play for Manchester City for the next year or 2. And of course, I haven't forgot about Abdülkadir Khusanov. Look, I want this guy to be playing so many more minutes than what he's been subjected to over the last several months. I understand the clause in his agreement with Lons. If he plays more than 10 games, we have to send them more money. I think it's smart business by Manchester City for not letting him play those games, okay? However, he deserves to play in those games more than Akanji. I love Manuel Akanji. He's a better tackler. He's a better pure defender than Khusanov. But Khusanov's pace, we could have used that so much against Al Hilal. We could have used it so many times in the previous season. We are definitely going to be relying on his pace for this season. I want Abdülkadir to be given a proper chance. No, I'm a plastic fan. You're a plastic fan. You're not a real fan. You're fucking bullshit for wanting Abdülkadir to play. You should be wanting Akanji to be playing. You should want Bernardo Silva to be playing. You should want İlkay Gündoğan. You should want Ederson and all these players to be playing because of what they did 2 fucking years ago. I don't know if this is true, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm seeing reports of Morgan Gibbs-White agreeing on personal terms, which is not really an issue, it's never have been, with Manchester City over a potential transfer for this summer. Where the fuck is he going to play? Where in God's name is he going to be playing? Okay, Gundogan is not leaving. Ilkay Gundogan is not leaving. Bernardo Silva is not leaving. I don't think Kovacic is leaving. We have Reinders. We have Rodri. Okay? We have Cherki in the midfield. Marmoush can play in that attacking mid role right behind the striker on the left-hand side. And if he doesn't, he's going to be playing on the left-hand side. Phil Foden can be playing in the middle as well. We got Echeverri. We got all these guys. Where the fuck is Morgan Gibbs-White going to be playing? He's a great player. I honestly think he's a great player. He's got a lot of qualities that I would love at Manchester City. He's tall, he's fast, he's tenacious. He can run back and forth. He's strong. I would love him at Manchester City. If we had a specific role for him, if we had a position for him to fill in and have him start, he's a great player, but he's English, so this transfer fee is going to be at least 70, 80, upwards of 100 million pounds for a player that doesn't even start for this team. Some of you are going to hate me for this, but I would rather have Nico Gonzalez than Morgan Gibbs-White. Nico Gonzalez is a better player than Morgan Gibbs-White. Yes, 100%. Nico Gonzalez is better than Bernardo Silva. Nico Gonzalez is better than Gundogan and Kovacic combined right now. I'm not talking about what these players did in the fucking treble winning season. Miss me with that bullshit. I don't care. That's in the past. I'm talking about right now. I want our young players. I want Rico Lewis to be given more minutes. Oscar Bobb to be given more minutes. Why are we labeled as shitty plastic fans for wanting our older players to give way for the younger generation, for the next Manchester City superstars that are going to propel this club into the future? I don't want them to be sold. I want them to be benched. I want them to mentor these young players. But for fuck's sake, Ilkay Gundogan and Kovacic, they do not deserve to start over Nico Gonzalez. That is absurd. I know exactly what people are going to be saying in the comments. Oh my god, you're fear-mongering. Stop it, you're just doing this for views. My friends, how many times do I have to say this? I don't want our legends to leave. I don't want them to be sold. I want younger players to be given a chance. And I've said it in this video twice. If Guardiola gives them chances after chances after chances, okay, multiple games starting and they still don't perform, then yes, you give it to the older players. You give it to the players that deserve the playing time. That is the most important thing that I could be saying in this video. Whoever deserves the minutes deserves to play, regardless of age, history, whatever. I don't care. However, you still need to give these young players a chance. Nico Gonzalez should be a starter, okay? Marmoush, all these guys should be a starter. I didn't even talk about Cherki, okay? Cherki is not a guaranteed starter in this team, okay? Where is Cherki going to be in 3 to 4 years' time? At Manchester City, I'm not too sure about that. Let me know down in the comments your concerns about this season. Who do you think should start? Who do you think we should bring in, if we should even be bringing in anybody? Do you think Denzel Dumfries would be a great signing? Do you think Livramento would be a better signing? Let me know. I will see you all next time.